All right, fellas, we're back at home on spring break, and it's time to get back to it. The other three videos that got blocked, and I had to dispute them. They're all up now, and I haven't really posted anything since. I don't think this one will get blocked because it's not a NBA reaction or NBA highlight video. I mean, we got Jimmy High Roller if when you score 83 points in a game and nobody cares. Obviously, talking about Bam last week. I don't have a lot to say, a lot more to say about Bam. I'm not a 100% hater like many Kobe fans are. I'm not like one of those Kobe crazies. But you know, there is some unethical. I just watched the Lucas 73 ball this morning, and like that's what a real high scoring game looks like. A lot of he only shot like 16 free throws, and he got the 73. Bam, obviously, not quite the same caliber, but it's still impressive. So, let me start the recording here. Dude, this feels so unnatural being home. It's always much more low quality, low energy. I look like I'm about to go to heaven because the fucking blinds. The heck? Yeah, let's get it started. A little 15-minute video.
Take a look at the best scoring nights throughout NBA history, and you will see a list of the greatest players to ever play the game. Jordan 69, Steph 62, Lillard 71, Luka 73.
When was Steph 62? Is that in like 2021? Back when they were always playing the Grizzlies.
69, Steph 60.
I don't remember that.
Lillard 7.
It was like that season where they were really bad. We're not really bad, but he was really good. And I think they missed the playoffs. Everyone wanted him to get MVP.
73, Kobe Bryant's famous 81. It's the most coveted record book in all
Donovan
of
Mitchell's 80. Donovan Mitchell's 71.
Of the greatest nights in NBA history by some of the greatest players in NBA history.
No, there it is.
Which begs the question, what the hell is...
Hold on, who else is up here? Who's these lost numbers in between? It's all Wilt Chamberlain, David Thompson. He played for the Nuggets. He had a 78 game. Never heard of the 78 game. Wilt was just doing everything. Pete Maravich is 68. Joel Embiid put 70 on the dot. I thought it was all 71. I'm not gonna lie. We remember Devin Booker. He was the first one to do it for a while.
Greatest players in NBA history.
Shut up.
Which begs the question, what the hell
Elgin
is Bam Adebayo doing here with a mind-boggling modern NBA record of 83 points? Well,
Come on.
This, my friends, is the result of quite possibly the most egregious case of stat padding the NBA has
this gets
ever
blocked,
seen. And despite scoring the second most
I don't know what to say. I don't even know what it's like to post a
NBA,
video on time
Bam's
anymore.
83-point night
That's gonna be
will go down as
surprising.
one of the most
Shit
shocking
might actually
and
get views.
controversial games we may ever see.
I keep exposing my identity to people. I exposed my identity to my roommates the other day. I don't know if I should have done that or not.
Today's video is sponsored
Ain't
by
even
Arena
subscribed.
Club. Exactly reveal digital back lined up.
Too many people are starting to know about this unsuccessful side hustle, y'all.
Arena Club. On Tuesday night, in a game featuring the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat, with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Heat were up 146 to 119. By all conceivable measures, this game was a blowout. It's over. But with that being the case, why is Drew Smith attempting a full court heave while his team is up nearly 30 points on a piss-poor Wizards team? Well, he's not. He's trying to get the ball to Bam Adebayo, who is being double-teamed 50 feet away from the ball.
Dude, I didn't even see that.
He has 70.
Was that a pass? Did he genuinely shoot the ball so Bam could get the rebound?
9 points and absolutely no intention of stepping out of this game.
This isn't even
point,
basketball.
The only way Bam is going to add to his historic total will be at the free throw line, because Washington is now guarding him with their entire roster. And what started as a normal basketball game has now become a full-blown circus act.
I don't know. They got starter caliber players in the game, though. Like, you got to think about that. They're down by like 24, but they've got starting caliber players. You know, it's not like a blowout. He's still playing against the Wizards' best guys. Bilal Coulibaly, he's like their best defender. Hey, Kobe couldn't have scored on Bilal Coulibaly.
There's nothing like access to the largest global airport lounge network.
In just the first quarter of this game, Bam Adebayo had
dark in here,
31 points, the second most points scored in the first quarter of a game in NBA history. By halftime, Bam had 43, already a career high, and the second most points scored in the first half of a game in NBA history. Going into the third, the Wizards still had no answer for Bam. His points still flooding in, both naturally in the flow of the game and...
Dude, I watched the Luka ball. He scored the Luka 73... Yeah, it was 73. The 73 ball, it was against the Hawks. I didn't know Jalen Johnson was that bad at defense. The hell? He was just getting cooked, man. He looks like he should be good at defense, too. These players look like they should be good at defense, but they're just getting thrown around.
By the end of the third, Bam had 62 points, which, you guessed it, is the second most points through 3 quarters in NBA history. Before the start of the fourth quarter, Bam's performance was already being celebrated by his teammates and fans. He had broken LeBron's franchise scoring record of 61. He set a new career high, and the Heat were blowing the Wizards out by 20. And it is at this point where Bam and his coaching staff are left with a decision.
I've been watching
Stay in the
basketball
game and build onto an already substantial lead. Leave the floor and sub out as the hero of the night.
I'm gonna have to
or
watch
stay
that
in the
game
game and potentially chase the league's scoring record. What decision?
Hey, I respect it, honestly.
Well,
I respect it.
Just so happens that I covered this
I would have done the same thing.
predicament in my last video, where I asked the question, is it possible to score 100 points in an NBA game?
Did that video come out before Bam scored 83? Because I saw that video. I thought that was a response to Bam scoring 83.
The final verdict? Yes, it is possible. The only problem? The circumstances required to have such a game are so unlikely that we will probably never see 100 points ever again. Unless a player is willing to infringe on the integrity of the game itself. There have been many games throughout the years that had record-breaking potential, but for a few reasons, most notably the game being a blowout and the potential record breaker respectfully sitting the final quarter, there have been very few instances where a player was able to genuinely chase the record without any negative consequences.
Yeah, you gotta have a shameless coach, a close game, probably double overtime. There's a lot of circumstances, you know. There's a lot of circumstances that have to happen for it to go your way. A lot of players cool down after the first half, or like a first quarter scoring 30. Like I said, I thought Bam was just gonna end up with like 50 after he scored that 30 in the first quarter. Because like a lot of times you hear these historic first quarters and they just slow down, just have like 50, which is not bad, but it's not 83.
How did Bam Adebayo drop the most points in modern NBA history on a random Tuesday night in March?
Great respect to let him. History of the NBA.
But yeah, there's a lot of circumstances. Your teammates gotta like you.
He gets fouled.
By choosing option C
KD,
and infringing
not
on
getting
the
100.
integrity of the game in what could have been a celebrated, memorable, and ethical
I don't even think KD ever dropped
Bam and the
60.
Heat decided to go a different route. With about 9 minutes left in this game, Bam had this incredible and one. A blow-by followed up with this great acrobatic finish at the rim through contact, and an explosion from the fans in the arena. And after hitting the free throw, this would have been the ideal and historically acceptable moment for Bam to check out of this game. It was his 70th point of the night. Miami had the game all but wrapped up. And up to this point, all of his points were ethical, non-GMO, farm-raised buckets. But instead, Bam stayed in the game. And here is how he scored his final 13 points.
That's so ridiculous.
Free throw, free throw, free throw, free throw, miss 3, layup, free throw, miss 3, turnover, miss 3, miss 3, free throw, free throw, free throw, free
This
throw.
had to be the worst game ever, dude. Like, I was looking at it on, like, the game cast. I was just watching the score of the game, and the game was going so slow, dude. The fourth quarter went so slow. You could tell all of this was going down. Oh, my gosh. This had to be a treacherous watch for the Heat fans.
To manufacture more points, free throw, free throw. Bye-bye Kobe, hello Bam. In what is now being called the most unethical game of basketball the league has ever seen, the Miami Heat spent the final 7 minutes of this game executing every conceivable tactic to manufacture more points for Bam Adebayo.
You can tell Bam think he is scoring now.
Intentionally fouling the Wizards to get possession.
He been playing aggressive as hell.
As intentionally missing a free throw to try to get the ball
back
to
NBA
Bam.
free with NBA ID right now.
They are quickly discovering why Kobe's
so you can
modern
watch the league
scoring
pass
record
games.
stood for so long
I don't know if
and
it's
why
still
no
like
one
that,
can
but
seem
it's
to
been like
match
that for
it
the last
despite
few
a
days.
number of players getting close.
Been watching Bam
Because,
Adebayo.
wait, I actually already said this a week ago. Let me find the clip real quick. 100 points in a single game is possible, but the circumstances required to have such a game, to justify one player taking that many shots and doing so without infringing on the integrity of the game, is so narrow that we may never see it happen again. Ah, that's right. The fallout for unapologetically chasing.
The fuck, you think you like a genius for saying that? Like, I said that a long time ago. I could really write a paper, but this is something that needs to be researched. Yo, I might have to write a paper about this. Something to go to college for. The heck? Jimmy think he a genius. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, bro.
Ah, that's right. The fallout for
Grass green?
unapologetically chasing out. Yeah. This is truly a definitive and timeless paradox of big performances. Historic nights like this have become less about can a player pull it off and more about
Jimmy
do the
High Roller got famous
circumstances
quotes.
require a player
Never
to pull
forget
it off,
when
in which
Jimmy
case
High
the
Roller said
circumstances
this.
virtually never do. This performance from Bam is not only proof of that, but it is evidence of what we all have known to be the truth. There are many players around the league right now who could go for 80, 90, maybe even 100 points on the right night. If they set their mind to it, if them and their team game plan for it,
Yeah,
if it is their
it
sole
could really
focus
be
for
anybody.
48 minutes, if the Washington Wizards are on their schedule. But even attempting something like this would require a player to break the unwritten rules of basketball. And that clearly isn't worth the backlash of possibly pulling it off. It isn't worth it. So what were the...
I think it's worth it. I think Bam's happy. He's getting all sorts of backlash. But, you know, you got 83. Wilt Bam Kobe. Wilt Bam Kobe. Like, the heck? That's worth it in my eyes. Not worth the backlash is crazy. I don't care about Tracy McGrady and fucking Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, you don't even play basketball.
It isn't worth it. So what were the fruits of Bam's
Skip
labor?
Bayless?
The second most points in a single game in NBA history, the most free throw attempts in a single game in NBA history, by far the most free throws made in a game in NBA history, and the fifth most three-pointers attempted in a game. Oh, and he also...
Dude, nah, I know Adrian Dantley was a terrible watch in the 80s. This is a Utah Jazz legend right here. He's got all types of high scoring accolades and shit, but you never hear about him. Don't see any footage. I bet it was I bet he was a terrible watch, bro.
In NBA history, and the
28
fifth
free
most
throws made.
three-pointers attempted in a game. Oh, and he also broke the record for the most criticism received by a single player in one game. Now, if we ignore all context and
That's
what it
criticism.
took to get there...
You could have put at least somebody else on the list. Like, let's think. We gotta think. There's a lot of criticism in every game. SGA, he gets criticism in every game. I don't know about the all-time highs. You could do another video all on like making a list out of highest criticism games. That would be pretty entertaining.
player in one game. Now, if we ignore all
We'll start
context
DMing
and what
Jimmy,
it took to
giving
get
him
there,
ideas.
according to the game score metric, which takes all the good things a player does in the box score minus all the bad things and spits out a number that attempts to reflect the impact a player had on a game, Bam had statistically the sixth best game in NBA history, which is unfortunate
at
that it
Donovan,
will
though.
not
Look
be
at
remembered
Donovan.
as such. In my last video, I used...
Wait, who else is on the list? Jokic. December 20. Ooh, that's Christmas. 2025. Was that against the Timberwolves? I remember that game. Damian Lillard. And here are the other 70s.
Which is
80s.
unfortunate that it will not be remembered
69.
as such. In my last video, I
Or
used this
63,
chart to display
69.
the greatest scoring nights in NBA history and the pace these players were on to reach their final totals. For example, here's Luka's 73,
Whoa, hold on, here's a
Booker's
chart right
70,
here.
Lillard's 71, here's Kobe's 81, and here is Bam's 83. Through 3 quarters, he was tied for the second most points all time going into the fourth. In fact, that and one bucket in the fourth quarter that I mentioned earlier is right here. All of his buckets leading up to this point were non-forced ethical buckets within the flow of the game.
True.
Bam
That's
Adebayo
true.
was playing out
Everybody's
of his
focusing on like the last quarter and like the last 13 points where it was just free throws, but he was really having a crazy game. That first quarter was insane.
better than anyone ever has in modern NBA history.
We can't discredit him,
All
yo.
of these shameless
He's
scoring
up there with
tactics
Wilt
were
and
deployed.
Kobe.
The stat
He's
pattern
up there.
that spurred all of this outrage
We
took
gotta
place
stop being delusional.
here in the final 9 minutes of the game. All of this is now invalid because of this.
70.
A week
Yeah,
ago,
he's way
I said
better
the
than
methods the
Embiid,
Warriors used to
Luka,
get
Donovan,
Wilt to
Dame,
100
all
were
of them like out of the
outrageous and
picture.
would never be used in the modern
Devin Booker,
NBA.
he's definitely better than Booker.
7 days later, we're watching a center get triple teamed 94 feet out while up 25 with no admissible reason for him still being on the court. I now stand corrected. But I don't think these final minute tactics are worth
Someone else
discrediting
needs to
this
do it before
entire
the season's
performance.
over. I need another
83
70.
points is
Need another
83
70
points.
ball.
Regardless of how you go about getting them, you still have to go out and get them. The
Come on,
irony of
Paolo.
this whole thing is that I've seen
Paolo,
a lot
what's
of
up to
comments
you?
about how this game was proof.
We gotta
for
start
some fans
predicting
that
the
Wilt
next
Chamberlain
70
actually
ball.
did score 100 back in 1962.
Jaylen
despite
Brown,
there being no
selfish
video
ass.
evidence.
You know,
If
he's
Bam
the
can
type.
get to 83, Wilt Chamberlain could and definitely did get to 100. Which there's already a laundry list of proof from that game. I don't know why this would be the determining factor. But if Bam's game is being ridiculed
still
and
don't know,
dismissed,
man.
even if the criticism is justified, then
Somebody
so should
has
the
to show
mythical
that footage.
100-point scoring record. Because the way that
That
Bam
footage of
got
him
his
swiping
points
his own
is the
teammates'
exact
buckets.
method Wilt used to get his. Like, literally. Bar for bar. During the final minutes of Heat
Wilt
Wizards,
even hit
Keyshawn
free throws?
Johnson intentionally missed a free throw in hopes that the Heat would get the rebound to get it back to Bam. This is exactly what the Warriors did for Wilt. The Heat also intentionally fouled while holding an insurmountable lead to get the ball back faster. The Warriors did the same exact thing to get Wilt to 100. If Bam's 83 points is invalid because of the tactics, and for that same reason, so is Wilt's 100. Not only did the two biggest scoring nights in NBA history deploy the most gimmicky, shameless tactics to pull it off, this is quite possibly the only way to pull it off. The only difference between Bam's 83 and Wilt's 100 is video cameras and an angry mob of critics online. Now, to be completely honest, I
feel like Wilt's is way more disrespected, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like there's any like, yeah, I actually, that list, it should be Adebayo at 2 and then Wilt's 100 at 1 because nobody respects that shit at all. That's the most criticism. It's not even footage of it happening. Like, we know it was unethical as hell. But yeah, he's right. This is probably the only path. Like, shamefulness like this and I will. It's probably the only path to get into 100.
To finally see a coach allow his player to chase a record and have himself a night that most players could only
Eric
dream of.
Spoelstra's
You
the
want to know
GOAT.
how many games I've watched that were spoiled by an early sub? A player being punished for giving too much belt to the opposing team. A 3-point party cut short because they were playing too good. Potential record shut down because it wouldn't be in good taste. If this is what it takes to make up for all the times I had to watch Steve Kerr pull a player from a game on the verge of a league record, then so be it. I am just as surprised as you that I will now see Bam Adebayo's name above Kobe Bryant's for the rest of my days. But to see Bam have the audacity
Kobe can get
to
it
stay
back.
in this game, emphatically do what no one else
Tell
would
Kobe
dare,
I'm retired.
was
Go get
just
it back.
as fun as it was shocking. Which, by the way, every single player, without exception, would choose to stay in the
wanna read
game
the
and
comments.
chase a record if their coach allowed them to. This just happens to be the rare case where a coach did allow it. How can we blame Bam for doing something every player would do if given the chance? I don't know, maybe instead of putting all the blame on the man who just scored 83 points in an NBA game, we should aim that frustration at the team that allowed it to happen. Throughout this game, Bam attempted
Flame the
43
fucking Wizards,
shots,
man.
which
Flame the
is
Wizards.
a lot. But you want to know who shot more shots in a single game? Kobe. And Westbrook, and DeJounte Murray, and Kobe, and Cade Cunningham, and Kobe, Chris Webber, Kobe, Brunson, Jordan, and Kobe.
That Cade Cunningham.
What about all those free
Cade
throws
Cunningham
Bam
game was
attempted?
so nasty.
Those are the symptom of a team desperate to slow a player down,
The Pistons
but can't
are
stop
pissing
him
me
without
off,
fouling.
bro. They just
It
keep
has
losing.
been decades since the last time a player chased points
so
to this
shameful.
extent, let alone
They're
had a
dying
coaching
before the
staff that
playoffs.
allowed
But
him to
get
do
first
it.
rounded
But as I
by,
previously
like,
mentioned, this feels like
the Hornets.
conclusive proof that
Should
the
be kinda-
only
that would
thing
be kinda
keeping
lit.
that 100-point record intact is sheer respect for the unwritten rules and the opposing team and the game itself. If Bam can go for 83,
He
I
should have
can
subbed
only
out of
imagine
respect.
what players like Luka, Shea, Giannis, Ant, Wemby could go for if given the opportunity. But now that we're stuck looking at this for the foreseeable
I don't
future,
know. I just
what
don't
are your
think they're
thoughts on this
on
game?
Bam's level.
Do you feel like Bam's 83 was legitimate? Or did the tactics used at the end of this
Hey,
game
like we
damage
said,
the
up
legacy
until 70
of his
points.
performance and how we'll remember it? I gotta know.
He
So
is
let me know your
ridiculous.
thoughts in the comments below. And as always, until next.
Yeah, let's see everybody's thoughts in the comments below. Y'all won't be able to see the comments, but I'll read a couple for you. Bam did it because he saw the video. The fact that it's happened immediately after your last video is historic in itself. Jimmy High Roller, he's just like so influential, dog. one of the all-time greats. So he did post that video before this happened. I like how no one is talking about the Wizards unethically, intentionally fouling every player other than Bam, so Bam can't shoot, or the Wizards unethically triple teaming Bam in a game they already lost, or the Wizards intentionally tanking. Yeah, it's really all the Wizards' fault. They need to move to Vancouver. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the most unethical 83. When you score 83 points in a game and nobody cares. I think it made a lot of waves, actually. So I wouldn't say nobody. I think everybody cares, but not everybody is happy. The Kobe fans, y'all got to calm down, man. It's just basketball, bro. Kobe wouldn't have been that mad. But hey, what do you think about Bam's 83? Tell me in the comments. I'll catch y'all in the next video.